That's everything.
Well, you are a credit to your profession, Arpad.
Thank you, Mr. Marichek. And, you know, I'm not afraid of responsibility. In fact, I welcome it. And I'd welcome a lot more.
Well, I'll keep that in mind.
Well, I can't help but thinking, Christmas is almost here. All that Christmas shopping, we're going to be very short-handed in the shop.
Yes, we'll just have to manage.
But one more clerk would certainly come in handy.
What? Do you know someone who wants a job?
Mr. Marichek, you've got to stop thinking of me as just a delivery boy. In a suit, with a tie, I look old. And I've been training myself to be a sales clerk, training hard for 2 years.
You've been training?
I have trained myself, going shelf by shelf, and I know every item in the store, every tube, jar, box, bottle, carton, and container, where they are, what they cost, what they're for. Although it's something you have never thought about, Mr. Marichek, try me. You need a man who knows the business inside out, Mr. Marichek, try me. You need help, or I'd have never spoken. And why break someone in when I'm already broken? In this emergency, I wouldn't let you down, Mr. Marichek. Try me. Oh, I can see by the uncertain way you frown that you've asked yourself, why me? For first-class clerking and conscientious working, Mr. Marichek, why not try me?
Very well. This cream is sour, very sour. Take it back.
You wish to return this jar, madam? Certainly right you are, madam. You say it smells like a drowned cat. Woo! Does it that? At Marichek's, madam, we claim with pride the customer must be satisfied. The customer must be satisfied. By the way, we have a special sale on autumn heather. Let me spray some on your hand. Here, we'll smell it together. It has the 3 elements of good perfume: attractive to the nose, invisible to the eye, and functional. My wife has used it time and again. It's very appealing to us men. I use it myself every now and then.
I'll take it.
Certainly, madam. Oh, Miss Ritter. Miss Ritter. That's 20 and 6 for the autumn heather, 8 and 3 for the cream, 32 even for that bottle of Mermaid's Dream, 1 and 3 for the eyebrow pencil, 9 for the large shampoo, and then for the jar you're bringing back, that's 4 and 2 for you. That's a total of 98 less 4 and 2 for the jar. Out of 100? Cha-ching! Here's your change, 5 and 2. There you are, the biggest sale in several years, I believe. Thank you, madam. Please call again. Glad I could help. Here's my card. Thank you, madam. Please call again. Do call again, madam. I would gladly grow a mustache if you'd like, Mr. Marichek. Try me. Oh, I would even think of giving up my bike, Mr. Marichek. Try me for first-class clerking and conscientious working. Mr. Marichek, why not try me?
Very impressive. You even managed to shortchange me.
Mr. Marichek.
Oh, hello, George.
What happened?
He shot himself. Accidentally, he was cleaning his gun.
Yes, Arpad, could you give us some privacy, please?
Are you in very much pain, sir?
Oh, I hurt everywhere, except in my shoulder where I shot myself.
Is there anything I can do for you?
No, first I have to do something. Something very important. If I could stand, George, I would get up and hug you and beg you for forgiveness.
I forgive you, sir. Whatever happened, why ever it happened, I forgive you.
No, I'm not going to let you let me off that easily, George. What I did to you was terrible, and there's no excuse for it. Well, there's one excuse. The jealousy of an old man.
Jealousy?
Oh, George, you're still in the dark. You must be the only man in the world who's had an affair and didn't know it.
An affair?
Yes, you've been having an affair with my wife.
With your wife? With Mrs. Marichek?
I have all the facts.
Oh, no, but it's not true.
I know it's not true now, but 2 weeks ago and last week I didn't know.
Me and Mrs. Marichek? I mean, you would think that me
That's
and
the whole point, George. I didn't think.
I can't get over it.
Oh, George, if you would, starting now, would you take over the shop?
Well, yes, sir, absolutely. I'll at least keep it open until you're well enough to come back.
Good. Here's the keys. And now, seeing that you're the boss, maybe you'd consider giving yourself a raise?
Well, I could have a little talk with myself. And then if I don't ask for too much, I might grant it.
The perfect executive. Well, you're going to be a little short-handed, I'm afraid. Miss Balish won't be in.
Why?
Well, Arpad says she's sick.
What's wrong with her?
He didn't say, but nonetheless, you're going to be short and you'll have to manage without her. And without one other clerk. I want you to fire Mr. Kodai.
Fire him?
Yes, and give him 2 weeks severance.
Well, I didn't realize Mr. Kodai's work was so unsatisfactory. He works very hard.
Oh, yes, but at the wrong things.
I don't understand.
Well, if you ever run into Mrs. Marichek, perhaps she'll explain it to you. Look, George, now that I'm almost a bachelor, like you, would you consider taking me out to a cabaret?
But I don't.
I know. You don't go out to cabarets. Well, you'd better get going, my boy.
Well, yes, sir. I will come back tonight and give you a full report.
Thank you, George. I will be here.
Arpad?
Have you been thinking about me as a sales clerk?
Quite seriously, Arpad, quite seriously. But there's one thing that bothers me. How in the world are you going to do without your bicycle?
Well, what if I didn't have to altogether? I could be half delivery boy, half sales clerk.
Arpad, you just made a sale.
I did?
Yes, but I can't call you Arpad anymore. You know, I don't know your last name. You do have one, don't you?
Laszlo.
Welcome to Marichek's Mr. Laszlo.
Thank you, Mr. Marichek.
Now get going.
Goodbye, Mr. Marichek. You can count on me.
Goodbye, Arpad. On the floor till dawn lit up the sky. No one younger than I.
Who is it?
Miss Balish.
Who's there?
Miss Balish.
Oh, Mr. Novak.
Miss Balish, I was in the neighborhood.
What do you want? Did you remember something you forgot to say last night? Well, say it. I'm not feeling very well today.
Well, I know that, and that's why I'm here.
You know that I'm sick?
Well, this may come as quite a shock to you, Miss Bolish, but I'm back at Marichek's again,
Back at Marichek's?
as of this morning.
So you've come to see if I'm really sick, is that it?
No.
So you can tell everyone there's nothing wrong with me?
No!
That I just don't care about my job?
No! I brought you something.
What is it?
See for yourself. Vanilla ice cream. Best thing in the world when you're sick.
Oh, and it's from Linder's. My mother works at Linder's. Oh, she may have waited on you.
Small, stout woman.
No, the very image of me everyone says, only much younger looking. Oh, there's something wrong with this ice cream.
There is.
So much salt.
What? Are you surprised at all those tears falling into it?
Oh, I better cry in the right direction.
But why cry at all?
Oh, you just don't know, Mr. Novak. I'm like a rag doll that someone's kicked all the stuffing out of.
Well, you'll soon fill up again, good as new.
No, you're looking at a very disillusioned girl.
Miss Bolish, I will never forgive myself for the way I acted last night. Yeah, I must have been drunk.
But surprisingly, you were right when you guessed that the man I was waiting for I'd never met. He was just a man who was writing letters to me. Such glorious letters.
He never showed up.
No, I waited till closing.
I feel very responsible.
Oh, it's not your fault, Mr. Novak. I mean, yeah, it could have been so many reasons. But if he cared at all, he would have said something, would have left a letter, a note, 2 words, something.
Oh, Miss Bolish, he will write you.
I don't think so.
Oh, I know it definitely. I'm not just guessing.
You know it? How?
How? He told me.
He? Himself?
He himself. Dear friend, who else?
Oh, dear friend. Oh, my goodness. How? When? Tell me, Mr. Novak, tell me.
Well, let me see. When I left the cafe last night and I was going home, I was walking home and I had the oddest sensation that, or the oddest feeling that someone was following me, and I kept looking back and I saw
A young man.
a man. And when I was almost home, he came up to me and started asking questions about you and me.
Oh, what kind of questions?
Oh, just the kind you'd expect.
I want to know the words he said.
Miss Bolish, I'm not very good at remembering exact words.
Try. Please.
I think the first thing he said to me was, "Excuse me, sir, I'd like to ask you a question." And then he said, "Were you at the Cafe Imperial tonight?" And you want to know what I said too?
Of course.
I said yes.
And then?
And then he said, "That girl you were with at the cafe, is she a special friend?" Those are his exact words, special friend. And I said, "No, she and I work at the same shop. As a matter of fact, she has an appointment with someone else tonight." I'm remembering very clearly now. And then I remember he suddenly looked quite sad.
Oh, he looked sad.
Quite sad. Quite sad. Then he said to me, "I know she has an appointment with someone else tonight. It's with me, but I've got to catch the next train out of town on urgent business."
Urgent business. Oh, maybe he's a manufacturer or a shop owner.
Well, it's hard to say. He certainly looked well-fed.
Well fed.
Well, yes, but that's not so unusual with a man his age. Oh, you've got some very nice books there, Miss Polish. The Red and the Black. I've been meaning to read that. Would you mind if I borrowed it sometime?
What did you mean when you said a man his age?
I beg your pardon?
When you said that's not so unusual in a man his age, well, how old is he?
You realize it was a dark night, and, he'd had an exhausting day at any rate, emotionally at any rate, and, I would guess his age to be 5, 6, 7. It's hard to say. Perhaps if he'd had some hair. Have you read The Black Magic Mountain?
Why?
Well, yeah, I bought it for myself for my birthday. I'd lend it to you if you'd like.
Is he, completely bald?
Does it matter? I mean, you told me that you love him.
Oh, I do love him, Mr. Novak. Oh, I do. It's just that I hoped. Oh, I'm so ashamed of myself, as if appearances made a difference. Oh, it's what's important is in the letters. Oh, imagine the immortal works of art, the rapturous love stories, all written by elderly men, bald men, fat men, with indigestion and terrible tempers. But deep down, there's a glory beyond all estimation.
You put it very well, Miss Polish.
Oh, I'm feeling very well, Mr. Novak. I feel marvelous. Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for my life. Oh, and I'm going to write him a letter right now, so he'll have him waiting for him. But I'm not going to mention you, Mr. Novak, because that might be embarrassing.
Well, I'd appreciate that. I better get back to the shop.
Oh, all right. And I'll follow as soon as I've written the letter.
No, take the rest of the day off. Relax. Read a book. Have you finished Anna Karenina yet?
Oh, a long time ago.
So have I. It's remarkable how it stays with me. Every station, every train station with a train puffing in is Anna's station, wherever it may be. And, there are times when I even try to stop her. I watch her come out of the crowd and slowly walk to her death. And she always seems to vanish into the steam and the smoke.
How very odd, Mr. Novak. How very odd. In one of his letters, I wish I could show them to you.
Dear friends had the same experience?
Oh, more than once.
Oh. Well, I better go.
Oh, all right. Oh, Mr. Novak, may I tell you something quite sincerely? I like you. Really, I like you.
Well, thank you, Miss Polish. See you in the morning.
In the morning. Dear friend, I am so sorry about last night. It was a nightmare in every way. But together, you and I will laugh at last night someday. Ice cream, he brought me ice cream, vanilla ice cream, imagine that. Ice cream, and for the first time we were together without a spat. isn't like him. I'm simply stunned. Oh, wonders never cease. Oh, wonders never cease. It's been the most peculiar day. Oh, wonders never cease. Oh, wonders never cease. Oh, where was I? I am so sorry about last night. It was a nightmare in every way. Together you and I will laugh last night someday. I sat there waiting in that cafe and never guessing that you were fat. That you were near. You were outside looking bald. Oh my. Dear friend, I am so sorry about last night. Last night I was so nasty. Well, he deserved it, but even so, that George is not like this George. This is a new George that I don't know. Somehow it all reminds me of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Now, right before my eyes, a man that I despise has turned into a man I like. It's almost